Welcome to Alpha Movie Recap, where we recap all your favorite movies. But before we begin, don't forget to like this video and hit the subscribe button to keep getting our recap videos. Today, we are going to recap the 2007 horror movie, 30 Days of Night. The movie begins with the introduction of the town of Barrow in Alaska, where people are preparing for there is complete darkness for 30 days. A stranger arrives in a boat and makes its way to the town of Barrow. We are then introduced with Sheriffs Eben and Billy, who found a couple of burnt phones. They see the last sunset before the town goes into complete darkness. Meanwhile, a mysterious figure kills all the dogs in the town. Back with the sheriffs, they stop to check on Bo, whose bulldozer is spilling gasoline. As Eben writing him a ticket, a radio call comes through reporting the death of the dogs. We then meet Eben's estranged wife Stella, who is preparing to leave Barrow. On her way to the airport, her car is hit by a bulldozer. As she cannot wait to be towed, she calls Eben for a ride to the airport, but Eben makes excuse of work and send Billy instead. Eben goes to see the dogs that are killed by someone brutally. Meet with owners John and his wife Allie, and asks if they recently had a fight with someone, but they are not sure. Meanwhile, Billy goes to pick up Stella, but they don't make it in time and she misses the flight. Eben goes to the police station where his younger brother Jake and grandmother Helen works with him. Helen informs him about a complaint of vandalism at the Utilidor. He goes there and meets Carter and Wilson, who tells him that someone has destroyed their helicopter, which they always keep under lock and key. Meanwhile, the cell tower operator Gus hears some strange noises outside. He goes outside to investigate, but is surrounded by mysterious figures who turns out to be the vampires. They attack Gus and kill him. In the town's diner, we again see the stranger from the beginning. He orders a raw burger and alcohol, but the waitress tells him that they don't sell alcohol during the month of Polar Night. He gets angry and starts to make a scene, but Eben and Stella, who arrives at the same time, arrest him. Elsewhere, 3 pipeline workers finish their duty when suddenly one of them are dragged into a dark alley. A few moments later, someone throws his dead body. One of the workers runs, while the other freezes in fear, who is then killed by the vampires. Back in the police station, Eben questions the stranger, but he doesn't answer to his question. Helen tells Eben that the internet is down. When he tries to call Gus, he finds out that the phone lines are down too. The whole town suddenly loses the power, and the stranger mysteriously tells them that they are coming. When Eben arrives at the cell tower, he finds Gus's severed head. He goes back to town and orders people to lock their doors. We see John. His wife Allie is making dinner in the kitchen when a vampire comes crashing through the window and drags Allie outside, and he drags Allie away. The stranger keeps talking about how the end is coming. This annoys Jack, who throws a piece of the game at him, but it makes Stranger happy as he can use it to pick the lock. Jack goes to retrieve the piece, but the stranger grabs him. Eben arrives and shoots him in the shoulder to save Jack. Eben handcuffs the stranger to the cell. Eben tells Helen and Jack to stay while he and Stella goes to find the killers. While in the car, Eben asks Stella to stop the car. Stella uses her binoculars and sees something that terrifies her so much, she asks Eben to leave immediately. A vampire jumps on the roof of the car, and when Eben shoots him, it does nothing. Stella hits the brake, and vampire falls from the roof. When they return to the town, they then hear a terrified Helen calling for help on radio. They rush to the station, but it's already too late. They found only blood and no sign of Jake or Helen. They question the stranger, but he is heartbroken and says that they didn't take him. He begs Eben to finish him, but Stella talks him out of doing it. We finally see the vampires clearly for the first time, as their leader Marlowe orders them to mercilessly kill everyone. They then go on to a killing rampage and kill everyone they meet. A group of survivors gather at the diner, and none of them can tell what are these things that are killing them. Eben and Stella arrive and reunite with Jake. The group then start to make strategies. Carter informs them about the generator at the Utilidor, but Eben dismisses the idea as the Utilidor is too far. A woman points out that there is an attic in his neighbor's house with a pull-down ladder. Eben asks Carter to lead the group to the house while he and Stella distract the vampires. Eben and Stella begin driving a car across the town to distract the vampires. Vampires attack their car. Eben kills one of them, but Marlowe takes his gun and the vampires flip over the car. But Bo shows up to save the day. He kills few of the vampires with his bulldozer and the couple escapes with him. They reach the house and join others in the attic. Eben tells them that they will first ration the food and figure their next stop. Marlowe, meanwhile, goes back to the station to meet the stranger. He tells the stranger that they will take care of him because he did everything they asked him to do. He then kills him by snapping his neck. On day 7th, while hiding in the attic, the group hear a woman named Kirsten calling for help. Carter asks to save him, but Eben realizes that vampires are using her as a bait to lure others out when he sees them following her on rooftops. Kirsten begs Marlo to let her go, but the vampires torture and kill her. Eben notices John hiding and goes to rescue him, but unfortunately, John is revealed to be bitten by vampires and attacks Eben, so Eben has no choice but to cut off his head with an axe to stop him. Marlo finds John's body and realizes someone is around here. When it's Stella's turn to guard the attic, she falls asleep, and Isaac, who has dementia, leaves to go outside. Stella and Wilson go after him to try to stop. Stella and Wilson don't let him go, so he asks to use bathroom, but he locks the door from inside, and when Wilson picks the lock and opens the door, they realize Isaac has gone. Wilson goes after his father and pushes Stella aside when she tries to stop him. Eben hears the noises and goes to investigate. He finds Stella laying on floor, and she tells him what happened. Suddenly, a vampire enters the house, and both of them hide in the bathroom. As the vampire is about to enter in the bathroom, he hears Wilson calling his father outside and leaves. As Wilson calls and searches his father, he is dragged and killed by vampires. Eben and Stella get back to the attic, and Stella feels guilty for not being able to save Wilson and his father. On the 18th day, when the blizzard hits, the group uses the whiteout as a cover to go to the store for the supplies. While selecting the supplies, they hear a noise, and when they investigate, they find a little girl who was turned into a vampire feeding on a corpse. The girl attacks the group, and Jake uses an axe to kill her. After that, they realize that the blizzard is over, and now they can't leave without being seen by the vampires. Eben tells them to head to the station while he creates a diversion. He lures the vampires to his grandmother's house and uses one of her ultraviolet lights to severely burn Marlo's lover, Iris. The vampires cut the power so he escapes. Marlo mercy kills Iris to save her from suffering. Bo also aids him and kills many vampires with his tractor. When he crashes, Bo attempts a suicide bombing to kill the remaining vampires. Bo and the vampires survive the explosion, and Marlo crushes his head. Eben reaches the station to join the remaining survivors, and it is revealed that Carter was bitten by the little girl in the store. An emotional Carter asks Eben to kill him before he hurts someone, so Eben obliges and takes him to another room and kills him. On day 27, Stella and Eben spot the deputy, Billy, signaling to them with a flashlight. When they go to rescue him, they learn he killed his own family to spare them from a painful death. When they bring him to the station, they learn that the others have left to the utility door. The three of them hide under a house to monitor the situation. When Stella sees a little girl named Gail Robbins, she brings her under the house. Eben creates a distraction so the others can escape. But instead of running with the women, Billy panics and runs the wrong way, attracting another vampire. Eben makes it to the utilidor and meets the group again, but he's worried because Stella and Gail still aren't there. Meanwhile, Marlo tells the other vampires that humans must never learn that vampires are real, so they have to find and kill every last survivor. Billy finally reaches the utilidor too, but he doesn't realize a vampire followed him. The vampire attacks Billy, and everyone rushes to help when they hear him scream. This vampire is stronger than usual and almost throws Eben into a metal grinder. Billy jumps on the vampire and pushes it into the grinder, killing it, but then Billy starts turning into a vampire, so Eben is forced to kill him. On the 30th day, the survivors celebrate because the sun will rise soon. Eben manages to contact Stella on the walkie-talkie. She says she and Gail are hiding under a car. Eben looks outside and sees they're surrounded by vampires. He tells Stella to stay hidden until sunrise so they can make it together. The vampires use the gasoline leaking from a bulldozer to start a fire to hide the massacre and any proof of their existence. Realizing no human can win this fight, Eben takes some of Billy's infected blood and injects it into himself. The others think they should kill him, but Jake protects his brother. Eben hugs Jake goodbye. Eben goes outside and challenges Marlo. Marlo easily beats him at first, but this gives Stella and Gail enough time to escape. As the fight continues, Eben fully turns and gains vampire strength. He lands one powerful hit, kills Marlo instantly. Without their leader, the other vampires run away, but sunrise is near, and Eben knows the sun will kill him now too. Stella takes him to a hill. They share one last kiss as the sun rises, and Eben turns to ash in her arms. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to my channel for more recap videos.